When I was younger, I didn't really understand why my life felt so different, but there's one moment I'll never forget. It changed everything. One day, my mother looked at me and said, "If I had known about your disorder, I wouldn't have had you. You don't belong in this family." Those words broke me. I felt like the world stopped. Everything went dark. I carried that pain for years. Not long after, my father said, "Ed, let's start fresh. A new life for the three of us." He yelled it out the car window as we stood in front of our grandparents' empty house. Then he and my mother drove off, laughing, leaving me behind. I was just 9. I stood there, frozen, watching the car disappear. They had abandoned me. My name is Grace. I'm 24 now. I have a twin brother, Daniel. We used to live with our parents, but we've been separated for over 9 years. It all goes back to our childhood, a time I'll never forget. We weren't a special family. My dad worked an office job. My mom worked part-time and took care of the house. Life was simple. But things changed in elementary school. Daniel was smart and always did well in school. Teachers loved him. "You're amazing, Daniel, another perfect score." My mom beamed with pride. My dad laughed, saying, "He'll be successful, maybe a doctor or athlete." They were proud of Daniel. Everyone saw it, except me. I had a hard time. I couldn't focus in class. Even little sounds distracted me. Teachers scolded me, but no one helped. I felt invisible. Daniel got all the love and attention. His favorite foods were made. He went on trips with our parents. If he wanted something, he got it. I was left alone. I didn't know how to ask for help. I couldn't explain what I was feeling. Even now, I sometimes struggle to speak clearly. I try, but the words don't come out right. Later, I found out from my mom that I had a mild developmental disorder. I've learned to manage it better over time, but it still affects me. I know I was a difficult child, but being different doesn't mean I didn't deserve love and care. I was still learning, still growing, just like any other child. But my parents didn't see that. They kept comparing me to Daniel. To them, he was perfect, and I was a burden. I wanted to speak up, to show them I mattered, but I was a child. They held all the power. So I stayed quiet. I smiled, even when it hurt. As we got older, Daniel changed too. We used to be close, but one day he said, "Don't talk to me at school. I'm glad we don't look alike. I don't want people thinking we're related." Those words hurt, but again, I said nothing. He ignored me. The bond we had disappeared. My parents didn't notice. They didn't care. Eventually, I felt invisible, like I didn't exist in their world. Now, looking back, I see how much that shaped who I am. It's been a tough journey, but I'm learning to stand on my own. I may have been neglected and overlooked, but I know now, I matter. I'm not just a background character in someone else's story. I'm writing my own, and it's time for a new beginning. Of time, simplified version. Time hit me like a cold wave, reminding me how little I meant to them. As I sipped the warm milk my grandmother gave me, the heat spread through my chest. It helped calm my racing mind. I couldn't hold back my tears anymore. My grandmother gently rubbed my back while I cried. My grandfather stood up suddenly and called my father. I could hear how upset he was as they argued on the phone. Then he slammed it down, clearly angry. "Grace," he said gently, "I talked to your father, but we can't seem to understand each other. Can you tell me what happened?" I tried to explain through my tears. The words came out messy because I was so emotional, but my grandparents stayed quiet, listening carefully. Finally, I said the words that hurt the most. They told me I shouldn't have been born because I have a developmental disorder. Mom and Dad said I was just a mistake, and they want to start over with Daniel. Saying it made me feel heavy inside, but then, without warning, my grandmother hugged me tightly. "That's not true," she said softly. "You are a wonderful child. No matter what they say, you are special to us. We're so glad you were born." Her words soothed my heart like medicine. "People aren't valuable because of how smart or pretty they are," she added. "Your grandfather and I aren't anyone special. We didn't go to fancy schools. We just lived simple lives doing what we loved. You might not be great at studying, but you have a rare gift. You're sensitive and expressive. That's something special. That's yours." I felt a wave of relief. This time, my tears weren't from sadness. My grandparents reminded me that I had value, that I wasn't a burden. "No one here will make you feel unwanted anymore," my grandfather said, patting my head. "I'm sorry we didn't realize it sooner. You've been so strong." I cried again, but it felt different, like I was finally letting go of all the pain. From then on, I lived with my grandparents. They enrolled me in a small local school where the teachers were kind. One teacher, in particular, truly understood me. Because it was a small rural school, the teachers could create a special learning plan just for me. I learned at my own pace, and slowly, my grades improved. Even though I struggled to communicate, I started to feel okay about being different. I made friends. I found peace in my mind and heart. I even discovered new dreams, things I really wanted to do. 14 years passed. In all that time, I never heard from my parents or brother. They changed phone numbers and addresses, and slowly, I forgot their faces. I had moved on. With my grandparents, I had found a real family and built a new life. But one morning, everything changed. Bang, bang. Open the door, I know you're in there. Someone pounded on the door, shattering the quiet morning. I froze, confused and scared. My grandparents were already awake. My heart pounded as the banging got louder. I didn't know who it was, but I had a terrible feeling, whatever it was, it would change everything again. Still groggy, I heard my grandfather's voice, full of anger. You left your daughter for over 10 years, what do you want now? I slowly walked to the front door, unsure of what was happening. When I stepped outside, I was shocked. Standing there was the woman who gave birth to me, but she looked nothing like the mother I remembered. She looked tired and worn out. Next to her was my father, now older, heavier, and very different. They smiled and reached out to me like we were friends. I didn't move. I narrowed my eyes. If you're really my parents, why are you here? Don't act like you don't know us, my mother said sweetly, pretending to be kind. We just want to talk. We heard the workshop is doing well, your dad's getting old, and managing everything is hard now. So we've come back. I thought I'd take over the business. She smiled, then added, we also heard that our sweet daughter is set to inherit it, and we believe it should go to us.